Hello, everybody. Oh, so two other recordings I didn't play. Anyway, I'm going to redo them, and I'm reading to you from an article I wrote in Namarupa magazine, this fantastic magazine on classical Indian thought, published out of New York by Robert Moses, Eddie Stern, and some of those people. And so I was going on a pilgrimage to West Bengal and asked if they'd be interested in an article, and they were. So I wrote one, and it's recently been published, and I'm very happy about it. So this is another sidebar, in these in these readings. Basically, I read an introduction, and then there was the long, about 2 videos of the historic section, where we're looking at, early references to goddess worship. And now I'm taking some of those ideas in more depth. So we looked at what's the Shakti peak. In this particular one, who is Durga? And so that's what we're going to talk about right now. These are some really, really beautiful wooden carvings in the palace in Nepal, in Patan Darbar Square, and Mulchok, which could be the 108 manifestations of Durga, although I've also heard that they're the 91 manifestations of the matrikas. So who is Devi Durga? She is known as the Invincible One, the Mother of the Universe. She is the representation of courage, strength, ethics, and morality. Goddess Durga is a form of divine power, Shakti, and is the confluence of the power, beauty, and intelligence of Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, and Mahakali. She possesses the power of all the male gods in her celestial weapons. She is regarded as the ultimate deity. Ma Durga has many incarnations: Kali, Bhagavati, Bhavani, Ambika, Lalita, Gauri, Kundalini, Jaya, Rajeswari. Her 9 forms, or Navadurgas, are known as Skandamata, Kushumanda, Shailaputri, Kaurati, Brahmacharini, Mahagauri, Katyayani, that one's tough for me, Katyayani, Chandraganta, and Siddhi Datti. According to the scriptures, Lord Shiva called Ma Durga by 108 names in order to please her, and each name represents the quality that she possesses. These names appear in the Purana, called the Devi Mahatmyam, the glory of the goddess, that narrates the story of Durga's battle and victory over the demon king, the buffalo demon, Mahishasura, composed around 400 to 500 CE in Sanskrit by the ancient Indian sage, the Markandeya. This Hindu scripture is also known as the Durga Shaptashat, or simply the Chandi. And so, yes, if you read one thing about Durga, read the Shaptashati in the Devi Mahatmyam, which is a long hymn to the Devi. It's very beautiful. And I'm not going to call out all her 108 names. We could do that as a separate practice if you like, but, just know that they're taking, 4 pages with, again, many different manifestations, of the Devi. And I'm going to also include in this particular reading a sidebar on the celestial weapons of Durga as well. And so this is a photo I took in around Belur, Halabid, outside of Mysore in Karnataka, and pretty fantastic carvings in the Hoysala dynasty, the height of their sculpture and temple building era, and it's really spectacular in hard basalt. And that is, of course, Durga slaying the buffalo demon. So, right from Nepal down to South India. Celestial weapons of Durga. Devi Durga is the ultimate form of Shakti and the most powerful goddess in Hindu religion. She was created in response to the prayers of human gods and to put an end to the vicious and deadly demons that seem to plague the planet today. Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Parvati all merged to create her, and they incarnated as the ultimate form of Shakti, the supreme goddess, who defeats evil to preserve moral order and righteousness. In Sanskrit, Durga means fort or place that is protected and difficult to reach. Ma Durga is the fierce form of the protective mother. She is our protector, excuse me, and saves humanity from suffering by going into battle and destroying evil, demonic forces like hatred, anger, jealousy, greed, prejudice, pride, and selfishness. It sounds like whatever demons out there today also has some of those tendencies, as do we within us. So Ma is the, she, anything that threatens peace and prosperity and dharma for the good, she will destroy. So Devi Durga is usually depicted, riding into battle on her lion with many arms, 10 arms, each holding a celestial weapon or assuming a mudra, which is a symbolic hand gesture. Ma is the invisible one, always there to protect her devotees from all the 8 corners of the universe, as well as the earth and the sky. And in the famous battle of the Devi Mahatmya, in which Durga kills the evil buffalo demon, all the male gods give her gifts and boons. So Shiva gives Durga his trident, Vishnu gives her his discus, the Sundarshan chakra, and Brahma gives her his water pot, also known as a kamandalu, of holy water and wisdom. Indra gives her his vajra, the thunderbolt, Varuna his conch, and Agni a missile or spear. Vayu gives her his bow and arrows, and Vishnakarma his axe and shield. Vayu gives her his bow and arrow, and Vishvakarma his axe and shield. The Lord of the Mountains gives her a lion as her vahana to carry her to mount. It has ferociousness to lead her into battle and compassion to forgive past mistakes. Her divine Shakti contains the combined elements of all the gods, their energy, but the weapons vary depending on the text or the translation of the Devi Mahatmya. So in general, Durga, the destroyer of the great ego, is representing holding any of these celestial weapons, okay? There's the sword of worship, the discus of revolving time, named excellent intuitive vision, the battle axe of good actions, the thunderbolt of illumination, the bow of determination, the arrow of speech, the club of the mace of articulation, and the shield of faith, a staff of discipline, the iron bar of restraint, the pike of attention or concentration, the sling, the rosary of alphabets, the concha vibrations, the bell of continuous tones, the lotus of peace, the water pot of purification, the plow of sowing the seeds of the way of truth to wisdom, the wine cup of joy, the net of unity, or the pestle of refinement. So she has a lot of weapons. I simply wish I had a hand fan at this point. End of the day, humidity increasing. So I'm just going to go through the main ones. There's the trident or the trishul, which is Shiva's three-pointed weapon, symbolizing the three gunas, which are the three main qualities that comprise everything in the universe, right? There's tamas, which is lethargy and activity, rajas, which is maybe even hyperactivity and desire, creation, and sattva is positivity and purity, the sattvic state. The trident reminds us to control the three gunas, that they're ever entwining around our situation, around in creating and manifesting. And yes, and the trident pierces anything to death. You know, it destroys anything. The compassion of Mother Durga shall confer the wisdom necessary to conquer the three qualities and emerge victorious. So thanks to Shiva, the trishul. And then we've got, you know, Vishnu's frisbee, his discus, the Sudarshan chakra, and his gift symbolizes the center of creation. The discus revolving around her finger is, you know, evidence of the fact that she is the center of creation, and the entire cosmic orbit revolves around her. Then we have Indra's Vajra, also a thunderbolt. So it's like a thunderbolt ritual object to symbolize both the properties of the indestructibility of the diamond and the irresistible force of the thunderbolt. So firmness of character, determination, and supreme power. And then the conch shell, which is given by Varuna, a Vedic god, and it symbolizes primordial sound of creation, Om, and is believed to be the center from which the entire universe emerged, as the goddess in consideration at the very creation of all creations. As the creator of all creations, she holds the conch in one of her hands. So yes, the universe came from sound and from the word Om, and that is none other than Shakti herself. There's the spear, which symbolizes auspiciousness. This gift of Agni also represents pure fiery power. The sword represents discernment, cutting through ignorance and seeing with pure vision. And so I'm just thinking that even, you know, all the deities in the Buddhist pantheon and, you know, Manjushri with the sword, the Buddhist deities share these particular celestial weapons. And there's the bow and arrow symbolizing potential and kinetic energy, the club, mace, or axe, and they alternate between, you know, her characteristics alternate between the two of them. And then also, you know, they signify no fear of consequences when fighting evil. And then we have the lotus, which is the symbol of Brahma and represents wisdom as well as liberation through knowledge. And it represents purity of body, mind, and speech. The lotus arises up from the muck unstained. You know, it's loaded, its petals, all dirt, everything rolls, any impurity rolls off it. And, you know, so it rises up out of the mud, unstained, representing purity of speech, mind, and body. and its flowers are symbolic of attachment, non-attachment, and desire. Everything easily slides off its petals. The compassion of the goddess will enable her devotees to rise from your deepest troubles to attain liberation. And the lotus stands for the awakening of spiritual consciousness in the soul. Divine Mother will help you to understand the transience of life and to ultimately seek ultimate truth. The snake, a lot of representations of Durga show her 10th hand empty, where a devotee can place their own object in that hand, but others actually have her holding a snake. And the snake symbolizes consciousness and the masculine energy of Shiva, and represents the movement of consciousness towards higher state of being, indicating the upward movement from the lower state of consciousness to the higher state of existence, experiencing pure bliss. So again, Durga, her power manifested through all of these weapons, and yes, and her 108 manifestations that come out and help restore moral order to the world. Sounds like a tale for contemporary times. Let's see if this actually recorded.